Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 25 and welcome back to our New Frontier Survival Challenge. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight it is officially fall, baby. And that can only mean one thing. It's time to harvest some corn. Alright, so look at this beautiful view out over the valley. We got the spring there. Our trees are all nice and golden brown. Our swing is looking nice to our left. But it's time to get out there and get the job done. So, without further ado, really? Already? A save? Dave, I ain't done nothing. Oh, before we go, probably ought to feed our little buddy here. Malcolm! Here, boy. I think I see him right there going through the grass. Our grass is a little tall. Poor Malcolm. Poor Malcolm. Ah, he loves it. Good job, Malcolm. Who's a good boy, Malcolm? Who's a good boy? Good boy. Alright, it's time. We gotta go do some harvesting, y'all. Y'all know the deal. Let's see if we can't get out and get some harvesting done. Let's jump in this big old beast right here. And it is a corn year, too. Come over here and grab our corn header, which I believe is in the woodshed. Never mind those stumps over there. Definitely haven't been filling up the sawmill, clearly. Perfect. All right. Back her up. Nice and easy now. This big old behemoth over to the field. Get this good old corn harvest started. Now this year we're going to do something a little different. We're going to put this directly into the building with the harvester rather than trying to use the thing. Because if you guys remember last time we did this dried corn, we ran into issues where yeah, it just didn't quite work out in the way we'd hoped. So, we're going to try offloading directly out of the harvester into the building. Also, we're starting to get a little bit of products out of these guys. Now, you guys may be wondering why I haven't bothered, like, cutting the grass and stuff. And it's quite simple. I haven't needed to. These guys haven't needed any. We've had meadow, so we're good. I forgot I had this thing slowed down. We can go much faster. All right. Now, I will mention this again. I am planning to do a live stream this weekend, either Friday night or Saturday, where I am going to invite some folks on to do some logging. If you guys are interested in that, leave down in the comments below. I'll try to leave a time that I will be hosting. And again, this is a locally hosted thing, so keep that in mind. It's not going to be a server hosted, so there'll probably be some lag. But if you guys want to be a part of this, then let me know. If we can get a few people to join me and do some logging, I think that'd be pretty cool. It'd be a nice little send-off before we end this series. I do still want to do the... There we go. I do still want to do the building of the town. But as I discussed earlier, the way I'm going to do that is I will use the government subsidy mod. Oh God, slow her down, slow her down. It's a bit excessive. There we go. But yeah, I'll use the government subsidy mod to allow us to have money to build the town. It only makes sense. One farmer would not build up an entire town. It'd be the government that's going to like supply grants and whatnot, subsidies to build up the town. So it makes sense in that sense. We haven't used any other money any time during this series. It has been all us the entire time. But I feel like that makes the most sense. You guys seem to agree, so I appreciate that. But you guys know the deal by now. We're going to jump straight in here. We're going to harvest all this beautiful corn. And and enjoy the time lapse, because you guys know this usually takes a little while. Oh, by the way, I do have precision farming on right now. I forgot that I added the precision farming mod. So we're not technically utilizing precision farming, but it is technically on, which is not ideal. But that's what that is up in the left corner. You guys are seeing that where it's showing like 96 to 98% yield. So not too bad. I mean, overall, we should have a decent score for fertilizing and all that stuff. I mean, we haven't utilized anything to do with precision farming up to this point. But we do a lot of stuff without overdoing everything, so I would assume that our score is decent. But I wasn't planning on using precision farming. I accidentally enabled all mods before I started this, because I did add a couple of new decorative mods that we'll be using for the city building. At least I'm hoping. Now the city's not going to be massive, by the way. I don't know what you guys are expecting out of a city. Like, we're not building a metropolis out here. This is still going to be a farm town. It's going to be a few houses, a couple of businesses possibly, you know, local shops and stuff like that. But other than that's probably where it'll go. You know, just a basic little farm town.
Sunrise on the fields, tractors humming low, engines roaring proud, watch this farmland grow. Dust on my boots, a grin on my face. Out here in Hidden Springs, it's a whole new pace. We're farm strong all day long, working this land with a harvest song. Raise your hands, stomp your boots. Hidden Springs blues got deep, deep roots. Goats in the pen, sheep in the shade, cornfield tall, wheat just laid. Little Red's pulling, Colossus roars. Every day's a dance on these farm dirt floors. We're farm strong all day long, working this land with a harvest song. Raise your hands, stomp your boots. Hidden Springs blues got deep, deep roots. Who's hauling logs? All Larry the log. Who's grinding trees? All Bucky the beaver please. Who's harvest king? Colossus machine. And who keeps it rolling? The farmer's dream. We're farm strong all day long, singing this anthem bold and strong. Hidden Springs pride down to our boots, singing the blues with deep, deep roots. fields wide, a sight to behold. And there she sat, with her steady growl. The colossus waits, she knows her proud. The colossus rolls with grace and might, turning morning dew to harvest light. She hums that tune, she cuts that line, and every pass, the yield looks fine. Bought her clean, with chrome so bright. She ran the beans, now she owns the right to chew this corn like a southern queen. Smoothest thing this land has seen. The colossus rolls slow and true through acres wide in the morning dew. We planted hope, and now it shows in every path the colossus mows. Larry the log would tip his cap, and Little Red might take a nap. But this machine don't miss a beat, just diesel, soul, and steady heat. The colossus rolls, and the job gets done beneath the sky, under rising sun. We sow, we reap, we pay our toll, and we raise our thanks as the colossus rolls.
Alright, so that took about an hour, which is pretty typical. And then imagine if we were only doing 6 miles an hour. Like, even with this big old harvester, if we were only doing 6 miles an hour harvested, that would take forever. At least 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to harvest all that. And we're going to double the size of that field. Also, turns out we got some really bad ground over there on the big field, which is not ideal because that's the side we're about to expand by about twice as much. So yeah, we're going to have our work cut out for us. But we're going to get over here. We're going to drop off our 151,000 liters, which I don't remember what we got last year. Or not last year, but the year before, because last year we did soybeans. I don't remember what we got last time we did corn, but I feel like we definitely got less this time. And there you have it, folks. It actually works. It actually works! And it unloads so fast. Way quicker than the last time we had to fill up this place. Alright. But, as you can see... Well, I say as you can see. I guess I'd have to go over here to this button. As you can see, we officially have dry corn. Now, we are going to be using corn, and the whatchamacallit that we're using is actually going to be wood chips. So this is the correct one. So we're going to go ahead and activate that. And so we will now be producing. We have 50,400 liters of wood chips, so I want to keep an eye on how many wood chips we have after we're done with this, so we have an idea how much wood chips it takes per thing. But we're gonna get over here. We're gonna fix our header and our harvester. As you guys know, every time I harvest, I like to make sure I maintain my equipment. We do have this little garage area right here, and by garage area I mean this is a little maintenance shop. So we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna repair both our header as well as our harvester, just maintaining them in tip-top shape, so that when harvest season comes around, I don't even have to think about it. We just do it, right? Now, the next thing that we're going to have to look for is what time is the best time to sell off our dried corn. Last time, I think we sold it in the same month. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We're going to go ahead and drop the corn header here. As a matter of fact, I think I might just shut this off and leave it here too. There's no reason to park this all the way back over there, right? That'll free up some of the room in our little shed. Papa Smurf's still out, by the way. But we also want to go ahead and upgrade our field, or extend our field today. So while this is doing that, it's time for another big old time lapse. I know you guys are excited for another huge time lapse, but hey, we got to do it. We're almost done with the series, so you guys know I'm out here putting in the work, right? Look at Big Red and Little Red next to one another. Aren't they cute together? They're adorbs. Totally adorbs. All right. Let's go ahead and get out here. We are going to need our... I think it's parked over here underneath the thing, isn't it? I think it is. I think it's parked over here. There it is. It was here somewhere. But the other thing that we're going to have to do is we are going to need to invest in the equipment. If we're going to be doing this precision farming, even if it's towards the end of the series, as much as I didn't want to get into it this series, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right? So we'll have to upgrade at least this tractor with the equipment for the precision farming, the, whatchamacallit, fancy stuff. We'll have to also order the folks to come out and check our ground conditions. Clearly we're struggling with ground conditions. But I am going to unfold this big old sucker. We're going to go straight ahead. All right, now where we want it, we'll go ahead and save too while we're at it. We want to go to the edge of our property line, or close to it. I don't want to be going over, obviously. But if we go to farmland, you can see we want to go to somewhere in this neighborhood over here. I wish they gave a way to like put down little flags or whatever to let you know how close you are. But we did leave this tree over here for that reason as well. Never mind, this tree is going to have to be cut down. We missed one, clearly. Because we're not even close to the property line. So we missed a tree. We're going to have to get Bucky back over here. Let's get her back in line here. And then we want to stop right in this area, I think. Not perfect. We still have plenty of extra room here, but I don't want to go over the property line either. All right. So we will try to squeeze a little bit out of this as well. You can see it's not perfect. I just don't want to end up with a situation where we go over the line and can't utilize it. Kind of all over the place here. Whoa! That was a big old tree stump. We missed one. Sorry for keeping pausing over here, but just try to get the main line of the field laid out. Okay. Look how much extra room we're going to have on this field. It's going to be crazy. Now we turn in, connect the field. So not quite doubling the size, or maybe it is more than doubling, I don't know. We didn't do a perfect job for our field, but we're utilizing the majority of our land anyway. Now for those of you who don't remember, we don't want to go too crazy here. There we go. All right. Now we just got to go back and forth a whole bunch. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Shouldn't take us too long to get all this done. I know it's a lot of land, but we do have a pretty good working width, and this thing pulls it pretty nicely, so shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I'll have to bring old Bucky over and clean up that one stump that's over there, plus this tree that we left behind. It's not ideal. So I might do that real quick when we get down here to the end. Actually, come to think of it. Yeah, let's go grab Bucky. It'll only take a second. He should still be on the trailer, I believe. Glad we didn't unload it. But this is going to give you guys a really good look at the size of the field now. This field's kind of crazy. This field should be about 64 acres by itself. It's not perfect, and I hate the fact that we kind of went all squiggly line. But it is what it is. Nobody's perfect, right? Alright, let's go ahead and put those out. Jump in old Bucky. Lift up that. We'll head over to the tree. Knock that out real quick, then we'll go get that stump. Hopefully that's the only two pieces we missed, but something tells me it won't be. Remember, we did have a lot of trees that were like fading in and out because we cut down so many trees. So it was hard to tell what was real, what wasn't. But overall, I think we did a pretty good job. If we only missed one stump and one tree, I feel like we did a pretty good job on that expansion. Because that was a lot of grinding trees. I underestimated how many trees there was there. Okay. Now we gotta head over to that one stump that's all the way over in that corner. Bucky isn't exactly known for his blazing speed, but he gets the job done. He does get the job done, man. I actually like this little thing. I like it a lot. It's kind of like a little snowcat, you know? Except it gobbles trees instead of snow. Of course, you put a blade on the front of this, I bet it gobbles snow too. Or one of those snowblower attachments. Alright, now that stump should be somewhere down to this line. I didn't think, there it is. I see it! You can't hide from me, stump! Now what I think I'll do is I'll just park Bucky here. Because like I said, there's probably more stumps that we missed. We'll park this here. And we'll go jump back in Big Red over here. Get back online. My controller shut off. Dadgummit. You can't make that up. That was terrible timing, and it goofed my field up again. I do want to straighten up that back edge too, a little bit. Because I feel like we kind of goofed the field up. But anyway, I ain't gonna make you guys sit here and watch me do this entire thing. I'll give you guys another little time lapse or a jump cut. I don't know which, but I'll see you guys in a little bit.
That forest stood tall right next to my beans, blocking out the light, busting up my dreams. So I fired up the saw, let the engines roar. One tree down, then 100 more. We're clearing land and feeling right, swinging that axe from day to night. Pull the stumps, roll through twice. Next year's harvest gonna be twice as nice as nice. Brought in the plow, shiny and new, ripped up the topsoil, let the earth come through. Watch that time lapse, dirt flying by. Hard work's paying off under that open sky. Yeah, we're clearing land and feeling right, working this ground with all our might. Blood and diesel, sweat and ice. Next year's harvest gonna be twice as nice as nice. From a field so small to one so wide, we carved this out with farmer pride. Logs are gone, roots dug deep. This land's ours now, and the soil runs sweet. So when the soybeans start to rise, I'll tip my hat to cloudy skies. 'Cause we built this field with calloused hands. Now it's twice as nice, this patch of land. From when the soybeans start to rise, tip my hat to cloudy skies, 'cause we built this field with calloused hands. Now it's twice as nice, this patch of land.
Alright, so we did it, guys. Now, I know I said I was going to go back and redo this field, but honestly, I don't think it turned out too bad. It's a little squiggly, but it kind of adds to the appeal, I think. It makes it look a little bit more realistic. It's not perfectly straight, but look at the size of this field. That is absurd. Why have I done this to myself? Because now you guys know I got to go through at least one more year, plant this thing up with soybeans and see what happens. That is a lot of field for Farm Sim. And that is about 64 acres, just this one field. That is a massive field. It's hard to put it even into words, like how big this field is. Like, we just now got to the part we just harvested. You know how big that was. That's crazy. But I can't wait. Now, I did obviously get bored with using or swapping back and forth between Bucky and this thing, so I went and grabbed the stump cutter. Definitely the better choice of the two for what we were doing when it comes to spot removal, because Bucky just takes too long for when you're having to go like individual tree stumps. Bucky just isn't that. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna put our plow back. Or a ripper, whatever you want to call it. Subsoiler. Put this back. Boop. Put our stump cutter back. And then we gotta save. Because it's been a long time since I've saved. We've got a lot of work done today. Alright. Oh, wait. I did say we were going to have to edit this. So we got to take this thing over to the store. Actually, I think I can upgrade it right here at our station, come to think of it. We got to get that, the Isara Compact Pro, or whatever it's called, since we are going to be doing the precision farming till the end of the series here. Even if I didn't really want to get into it. I forgot and I goofed it. You guys know the deal. Let's go ahead and get in here. Should be able to customize. I lied, apparently. We cannot put the Isara Compact Pro in here. This is a base game tractor. Surely, I must have to go to the actual store. Maybe it's just not part of that mod. The game didn't exist when that mod came around. So maybe, I mean, this is a base game tractor. It should have the option. So we'll go over to the store. Pick it up. Then we'll pick up Bucky on our way back. On the back of Mac, and then we got to clean up all this stuff, get ready to have it sold off at some point. I'll check it out. I think wool gets sold off in April, and I'm not sure on goat milk. I'll be real honest. I've sold goat milk. I just don't remember what month it sells in. We'll have to check it. I think it sells late in the year, but I could be wrong. Yeah, we'll head over to the store. We'll get this thing outfitted, hopefully, with the new equipment. Then we're going to have to order somebody to come out and do some soil samples for us. Because I am not going through doing the soil samples myself. If you've ever done precision farming, there's one of two types of people. There's the type of people that love to go around and do the little holes, dig the little holes all over their property to get the things. And then there's people like me who just could not be bothered. I like the idea of precision farming. I cannot be bothered to do the soil samples. So I'm going to hopefully be able to buy the soil samples like we used to in Farm Sim 22. I'm assuming they kept that in. If they didn't, I'm going to write a letter of anger. But I'm sure they did. But let's get up here to the old shop and get this thing fixed. Well, not fixed, but outfitted with the new equipment. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Huh. Well, that's not ideal. That means we're going to have to get one of those fancy pieces of equipment. Is it in the yield improvements thing? It might be in the yield improvements thing. Sprayers, nope. Maybe not. Maybe it's in miscellaneous. Yep, there it is. This thing right here. The Iceria Proactive Precision Farming, whatchamacallit, doohickey. Because this tractor doesn't have the ability to have it automatically, we have to buy this and be able to detach it and attach it whenever possible. So this is a crop sensor. You can measure the real nitrogen uptake of the crop to apply more precise fertilizer rates, right? So we're going to need this on the front of our tractor. So we're going to go ahead and grab this up. Standard, what is the 10-winkle top 450? Huh? Oh, this has a 450 kilogram weight to it. Well, I don't think we need that. So you can actually have weights to the front of this now. Interesting. Good Lord, you get some chonky weights too. Good Lord. Up to a 2,500 pound freaking weight on the front of this thing. That's crazy. Yeah, I think we'll just go with the standard. All right, let's go ahead and buy that. $23,000 for that one sensor. That is crazy. But we need it if we're going to do this. Let's slap her right on the front of this thing. Wait, we're going to have to go around to the other side, ain't we? Alright, let's get her attached. There we go. Perfect. Now we've got our little sensor. Got $106,000 left in the bank. I do want to buy a piece of equipment. So in the next episode, or a new tractor, because Lil Green can't quite keep up when it comes to the planting. So I would like to have a second tractor that's capable of doing the planting. We've talked about this possibly a couple of different times. We've not actually pulled the trigger because they're quite expensive. These large tractors are quite expensive. But look at the size of that field. Y'all didn't see the vision before, but surely you do now. Look at that beautiful field, man. Unfortunately, we don't own this chunk of property, so that's why there's a little corn left over right there. It's not on my land, technically. But look at the size. Just field as far as the eye can see. Now we're talking. We're starting to feel like a farmer out here. Got fields. Before we had little patches. You know, we wouldn't call that a field. It's just a patch. Now it's a field. 64 acres ready for planting. Woo! Now we're talking, y'all. But we gotta get some planting done so we can pick up another tractor. Or not planting, we gotta get a whatchamacallit done. Let's go ahead and stop right here real quick. Get this stuff out the way. Do have these full pallets of wool. Those over there. Yep. We got a lot of work to cut out for us, huh? Not really, but it's good to know that our sheep and goats are producing, that's for sure. Gonna have a good little bit of money right here. So let's check out where that is due. We'll also save. Look at the size of these fields, man. All right, let's go over to our field. You can see, look at the size of this. Now, again, it's not perfect, but it'll do. It'll do, right? We're a little bit wonky, but you get the picture. All right, we are going to need to do the fancy stuff. So let's go ahead and click on this. We're going to need to grab. Wait a second. Are you telling me we don't have the ability to buy this stuff? Or wait, do we not have to do that anymore? I'm confused. Like, it already gives me the breakdown. Oh wait, wasn't there like a precision farming specific thing? Okay, here's the precision farming. Okay. Whew. I was going to say, come on. All right, yeah, we are not doing so well in the scores. But, again, it's to be expected. Precision soil information. Let's go ahead and grab that. That's going to cost us $7,800 for the one field. This is expensive when you do it this way. It's definitely cheaper to do it yourself. But I can't be bothered, y'all. I can't be bothered. All right, let's go ahead and purchase that. That's another $6,500. You can see this field is much worse. We were getting really bad yields off of this. This is a lot of silty clay over here. Not ideal. Okay, that's actually kind of cheap. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, this is what we call not ideal. Look how much clay we have in this field, man. This field was doing pretty good. This little spot up here is not ideal, but this hurts. This hurts the pocketbook right here. Now, in theory, what you would want to do in this situation, you'd want to swap this field over to something that grows better in silty clay, right? Like, that would be the ideal. I don't know what tends to grow better in silty clay, but that would be the ideal. But now that we have all of our soil information for this, I think that would be the ideal for going through and getting this field ready for next year. We'll go ahead and put Big Red back in the barn. Then we'll go get Bucky on Mac, get him out the field. Now, we will need lime, but we'll do that in the next episode. This episode's been kind of dragging on for a bit. I probably ought to clean everything, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But we gotta look up some stuff. So, if we look at our prices, so one thing that we're gonna have is dry corn that we're gonna have to look for, which we know sells, I think in the wintertime, actually, compared to regular corn, which sells in June. We also, yeah, here's the dry corn, which I guess sells in June as well, at its highest price. So we'll keep that in mind. June, December, January. So we've got some time there. We don't have to hurry things along. What was the other thing we needed? Wool and goat's milk. So goat milk, October actually. So we need to sell that off right now. Good. We'll get that done. And then of course our other thing is wool, which I know usually sells in April. At its highest price, and it's at its lowest price right now, so that's not ideal. So we're going to leave the wool behind, and we'll pick up the goat's milk and take it in. How about that? As a matter of fact, do we have enough room in this thing? Nah, we'll just, you know what? Do we still have our trailer? We do, right? Let's use Bessie. We haven't used Bessie for a while. We'll go pick up Bessie's trailer. And then we'll take in the goat's milk on Bessie's trailer. I know we got a couple of pallets of goat milk on Mac. We can pick that up. Take it into town, sell it off. But we got Bessie's trailer right up in here. Why use Mac, waste all that fuel when I can take old Bessie out for a drive? We ain't done this in a while. You know, a blast from the past. Driving through our little cherry tree forest. I think I will go ahead and load up the partial pallet as well. No reason not to. We'll throw... Oops. You in there? Oh god, there was two there was two pallets there. Whoopsie. Alright, let's try that again. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I also don't want it sticking out the side of my trailer. It looks goofy. Perfect. And then we'll grab the little partial pallet here too. If you don't grab close enough to the bottom of the pallet, you can't lift it over the trailer. A little annoying. I'm just glad we can lift it. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and strap that down. We'll go over to Mac and pick up the other pallet. I think we only got one pallet of goat milk on Mac. But this should be a nice little influx of cash here. On top of selling our normal products during the month, like our wood planks and whatnot, furniture and all that stuff. We'll get this last pallet of goat's milk off of Mac here. And then we'll take Mac down and pick up a... Alright, that ought to work. Perfect. Got a nice little truckload of goat's milk to take in. So just goes to show you, we're out here farming, guys. I know it's taken a long time to get here, but I'm pretty happy with how this series has progressed, man. I really am. Boy, this little field over here is starting to look like what it actually is, a little field. Compared to this monster, that is nothing. Pretty sure we just sell this off the farmer's market. That's about the only place I can think of that would buy it. There ain't nobody else in town at the moment. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. How much are we going to make off our goat's milk? Boop. Uh-oh. Is it the warehouse? Might be the warehouse. It's the warehouse. Whoopsie. All right. Hold that thought. And like I said, the moment of truth. How much are we going to make off our goat's milk? Really? Say what? Normally it just yeets it off the trailer. Huh. Well, this isn't ideal. Supposedly, the warehouse buys this stuff. But the warehouse is not buying this stuff. I'm gonna try taking it off. Just... Uh-huh. And it doesn't say the farmer's market buys it at all. Well, this sucks. What am I supposed to do with all these goats? You've got to be kidding me. Well, I didn't see that coming. That was not on my bingo calendar for this year. Like it clearly says that they buy it. Right there, it says warehouse. Oh. Oh, never mind. I can sell bottled goat milk at the farmer's market, but I can't sell regular goat milk at the farmer's market. Well, that's a big bull. All right, well, is there a building that I can put down like a dairy? All right, let's go in here and find us a dairy, shall we? There's a $210,000. I can't afford that. How about a smaller dairy? There's got to be a smaller dairy, right? This is another dairy that costs $210,000. All right, this little dairy only costs $36,000, and it can handle goat's milk, and it turns it into different things. So I guess let's take this back home, and I guess we're going to be buying a little dairy and putting over there on our farm as well. I'll be honest, I don't like those little facilities at all. But what am I going to do? If they don't buy it, they don't buy it. I'm either going to have to bottle the milk, or I'm going to have to turn it into some goat cheese or something. I don't even know if there is goat cheese. There is in real life. I didn't look. Do they have goat cheese? They do have goat cheese. It's not worth a whole lot, though. Like, it's crazy that goat milk is worth more than goat cheese. Maybe you get more cheese out of the milk. That's why it's a reduced price. I'm going to have to look into it. We're about to find out, because I'm going to have to slap one of these little dairy processing places down here. That is so unfortunate. But, I guess it is what it is. I don't make the rules. Alright, well, I think we're going to put the dairy right next to this. It makes sense to have the little dairy processor right next to this, right? Sorry, Bessie, but I hope you had a good run. Let's put down a dairy, I guess. Construction. Got this little dairy right here. I hate these little things. Like, I understand that it's a cheaper alternative, but I cannot stand these little... They look so bad. Like, they just don't fit with my overall aesthetic. But is what it is. We're going to put it down, like, right over here. I feel like that's pretty good. Go ahead and slap that right there. We'll leave it on the gravel. Actually, we were using, like, animal mud, I think, before, right? So, maybe I'll go ahead and put some of that painting down. Pretty sure... Oh, wait, no, this is gravel, I think. I think it's this gravel. Nope, it's not. This gravel. Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and slap this down. And I did not have this on my bingo calendar, that's for sure. Glad we had the money to do it, though. Glad we found out the hard way. Before we ended up getting too much stock built up. Alright, let's go ahead and do the rest of this through here. There we go. And then we can soften... Whoops. Wrong button. Soften that area up a little bit too. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I hate how it ends up making everything so ugly. Like, the auto terraforming sucks in this game. Really does. Like, it's really poor at auto terraforming. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. We're going to be stuck with this lump right there. But we should now be able to haul this stuff over to the little place. Yep. There we go. Get all this stuff in there. Go ahead and... Hello? You gonna come out of the trailer, please? Thank you. Drop those out there real quick. Okay, now we just take these and drop them over here. Oh no, it can't even use all of it. We've already filled it up. We already filled up the buttercup. It's all good. We'll just leave these in here, and then as it needs it, it can take it. But we need to start this up. So let's look at this new production we got going on. So we've got goat milk. So we can either make bottled goat milk, which we know we can sell. Or we got goat cheese. Alright, so we can do 96 cycles per month. Three goat milk equals 6 cheese. So yes, you get more out of the cheese. So you put 3 goat milk in, you get 6 cheese out of it. That's why it's worth a little bit less than just bottled goat milk, which makes sense. You only get 14.4 cycles per month bottling your goat milk, but you go from 10 goat milk to 20 bottled goat milk. So that makes sense why the bottled goat milk is worth a little bit less too, because you get more out of it. Okay. Well, now that we know that, I think I definitely want to go for the cheese, right? Like, if we look at the pricing. So, goat cheese is worth $19.70 per pallet. Goat milk is worth $22.18. But it takes longer to go through the goat milk. It's worth more per pallet. But I think we get more out of this, right? What did we say it was? So for goat milk bottled, 10 goat milk, it just doubles, right? So both of these, it just doubles your milk. But you get a lot more cheese, or like you can do a lot more cheese faster. All right. Now, can we, like, actually sell goat cheese? Goat cheese does sell at the farmer's market for up to $19.70. I feel like if the goat milk is worth more than the goat cheese, I mean, other than it just being a faster process for the cheese, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You would think bottling goat milk would be a lot quicker than the other. All right, let's do some math real quick. 6 times 96 is 576 liters of goat milk every month that it's capable of producing. If we go to this one, we do 10 times 4, that's 144. Yeah, so I don't know, it makes more sense that we would go for the goat cheese. Yes, this is worth more, but I'm only getting 144 liters per month. I think the goat cheese is where it's at. Alright. Well, we're officially making goat cheese, y'all. We're going to get some goat cheese out of our new setup here. Alright, well, with that being said, let's get old Bessie back to the shop. We still got to go over and pick up old Bucky. I think I'm going to leave Bessie's trailer down here. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have the trailer up to the house when I can just back this thing up underneath this auger here. There we go. Now we take Bessie back to the top of the hill. We can park her in her garage. And Bessie's fast. Yeehaw! Alright. Swing her around. Do have our fuel trailer up here. Alright, let's jump over and grab old Mac and go pick up Bucky. Hopefully Mac doesn't get stuck in the field out here. Mac is not meant to be going off-road. Not in a freshly tilled field either. That is just asking for trouble. But if anybody can do it, old Mac can do it. If I remember correctly, we did put the... I guess he's got highway tires on. Never mind. I thought we put the... Wait, what? Dude, what is the point of having the straps if they don't actually work? This is the second time we've had pallets fall off of this freaking trailer. Really? The straps are supposed to lock the pallets to the trailer. I don't know why they keep bouncing off. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that this is not ideal working conditions for old Mac. He's getting it done, but he ain't liking life right now. Oh, I forgot. Bucky's been running this whole time. I stopped shutting it off because it just got to a point where it was like taking so long to actually start it back up. Come on, Mac. Pole, baby, pole. This may have been a mistake. As soon as we get to that spot over there where it's not just freshly tilled ground, I think we'll be fine. Just got to build up a little bit of oomph. But yeah, old Mac is not having a good time. There we go. Now we're getting her moving. Beautiful. Get old Bucky back over to where he's going to be utilized. Hopefully the game doesn't freak out and tip me over again. I don't know why that happened the last couple of times I had this thing on the back of this trailer. It just randomly decides to tip over. Ain't even in a corner. It just flips over on its own. Like, this thing does not like being on this trailer for whatever reason. Old Bucky doesn't like to be restrained. Can't keep old Bucky down. Oh, come on, Mac. We're rooting for you out here, but you're showing your age a little bit here. Alright. Now we're good to go. Now, see what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Why? Why is that what happens? I wasn't even in a turn. Farm Sim Physics got me down again. Trying to stack my load, but I just can't win. Also, why does nothing have collision in this game? Oh, my Lanta. Instantly flips me back over. Bucky, you and I are going to have some problems if you keep doing this. I wonder, since we know that it struggles if we do it the other way, can I use the good old-fashioned farm sim physics against it? The answer is not really. Oh, brother. I don't even know why I bother, man. I don't even know why I bother. It's enough to make you want to curse. Really is. Because you guys saw it. Like, there wasn't even a freaking... We weren't turning or nothing. It just decides to flip over for no reason. That is just farm sim physics at its finest. Doing everything in its power to drive me absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Ah, God dang it. Lil Red! He did it again. Wait, do we still have the actual... We don't have the forks. I was going to say, if we had the actual forks, I could use them right about now. Tuck those claws in as far as they can go. Forget how we ended up flipping it last time. I don't remember if we like rammed it or if we ended up like grabbing it from behind. But Little Red does not have enough oomph to be trying to flip over Bucky. But it's the only thing we got with a front loader. Little Red to the rescue again. But this is just, the end of this episode has gone so sideways. Literally. You can't make this stuff up. I just don't remember if we ended up like, I know you can't really lift it. Oh, never mind. Little Red says I can lift it, no problem. Bucky, now what do you say? Huh? What do you say, Bucky? Little Red's the shining star today. Bad Bucky. Alright, let's take Little Red back to the barn. Then I gotta come back over, grab Bucky, and then drive him over to where we need him. But the end of this episode has just gone so wrong. Everything about the end of this episode has gone horrifically wrong. We got a new big field. Look at the size of that thing. How did I hit the one tree? There's one tree. Okay, there's a bunch of trees. But there was only one tree, and I managed to hit it. Anything else going to go wrong before the end of this game crashes? I lose everything. That would be Sag. Ultimate Sag. I even said it too. I don't know what it is about Bucky being on the back of that truck. Bucky does not like to be on the back of that truck. There is something wrong with Bucky that causes that trailer to flip over. Like it's just some sort of physics violation every time we put Bucky on that trailer. Totally hit the wrong button and rammed the wall. Well done. Man, Little Red looks tiny next to this thing, doesn't it? Really does. It really shows you the size difference between, you know... That's crazy. Alright, Bucky, it's your turn. Again. This time, you're coming with me. One of those times where it just makes you want to scream at something. Swear to God, Bucky, you and I, we're going to go rounds. We're going to go rounds. Now, I want you to get over there to where you're going to be used. Look how slow Bucky is. I wish there was an overdrive feature for this thing. 7 miles an hour is not fast enough. Is it realistic? Sure. Give me an overdrive feature for these tracks. If they ain't sparking while I'm driving, it ain't fast enough. But we do got to go through and grind up all these tree stumps. Maybe I'll do that off screen. Because they are starting to get in the way. I think we got four rows worth that I got to cut up. But we can do that another time. I'm not going to make you guys sit through watching this. But again, just as a reminder, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. But just as a reminder, I do want to do that live stream this Saturday. It will be, what, today is the 14th, so that'll be the 17th. So keep an eye out for that. If you guys want to join me, let me know down in the comments below. And I'll be streaming, like I said, Saturday. I'll try to get a couple of people to join me so that we can try to knock out some of these trees. That would be ideal. If I can have somebody go through and cut with the harvester and then somebody loading trucks, we'll be good to go. That's only a couple of people, right? But that is all we need. I don't want to go... I thought about going ahead and getting a loan to get equipment so that we can have multiple people going. But realistically, given the fact that it's like locally hosted, the lag's going to be too much to have too many people connected to me. So I'm figuring at least one person to drive the harvester, one person to load a truck, and then obviously I can drive the truck or load the truck or whatever. So I need at least 2 people to join me, right? Maybe somebody comes in as Bucky and grinds up the tree stumps as we go too. Or replants the trees. But I digress. That's enough for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.